Morning, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. I hope you all had a great first day in the trading year. And today we're going to be going through a few different things. The trading day yesterday started off pretty well, right? We gapped up. We had a little rally to go and tag that like 3,900 region before we got a pretty strong drop, right? Last year, about 20% downside, and 2023 started off with a little downside yesterday, right? We got some pretty big selling uh, earlier on, I'd say like midpoint in the session throughout, and still didn't close too poorly, but didn't close too well either, right? They did give back some of those losses. The Bears gave back some of those losses before we did close out the session. Right now, we are popping a little pre-market here. Now, I think we start to see some sell the rip moments here in January to find out what do these sellers really have in store, because triple Qs and Nasdaq, I should say, are about 4% off of the lows. IWM still hasn't come into that territory just yet, right? SPY is hovering well above, and there's a lot to take this down, I think, some more, especially with tech coming into some of this friction right now. So yesterday, the Nasdaq was down 0.8%, right? 0.8%. The S&P was down 0.4%, and the Dow Jones just a fraction lower. As we mentioned in the recent update, right? Volatility is to remain a big theme of this economic year. So we did see that, right? Yesterday start off pretty well. Stumbled a little. Market stumbled into 2023 on the first trading day. I'm awaiting the FOMC minutes today, so that's going to be one of the main events. We do have the FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. We have, I think, ISM manufacturing at some point. And the price action indicates that the sentiment is to continue hawkish from the central bank. Meanwhile, industrial and agricultural commodity prices were mostly lower, while gold, silver, and platinum prices increased. So we're going to see how these FOMC minutes react, right, taper off. I think that realistically, it's not going to be a massive event. It's kind of a wrap up of last year, or last year and last month, the last meeting that we had. So we're going to see what some of the comments are. I think there could be some expected movement, meaning that there could be a little slower movement into the beginning of the session. And energy markets, right, they dropped about 3.6% after crude dropped to around $77 a barrel. A lot of people are saying that this is one of the main areas that can bring disinflation to the next CPI, PPI reports that are coming out in the following months that could construe for that peak of inflation. So 6 of the 11 sectors on the S&P yesterday finished the day lower, but futures inched a little greener overnight, and we're going to see if that holds. I don't necessarily think so, but I think there is still some sell the rip action going on. Tesla also suffered a lot of downside pressure yesterday, as we saw that we had a sharp drop in December. We had a sharp drop yesterday. It was hurt by disappointing delivery reports. Shares of Elon Musk's EV maker plunged about 12% to set another 52-week low at 108, and Tesla's tanked 73% over the past year. Apple also staged a notable retreat, dropping about 4% yesterday following the report that it might cut production levels of the MacBook and the Apple Watch. So the market cap dipped below $2 trillion during the session, exactly a year after it tapped that $3 trillion marker. So again, I think the eyes are going to be on the FOMC today. I think that there's still going to be a fairly hawkish tone overall in terms of inflation, rate hikes coming out this year, and what else do we have? And QT realistically. So that's something to consider. In other news, right, SBF from FTX's cryptocurrency exchange right now bankrupt. The CEO has pled not guilty to all criminal charges in federal court. The one-time billionaire entered his plea to 8 criminal counts, ranging from wire fraud to conspiracy to produce money laundering before the U.S. District Judge Lewis Kaplan in Manhattan. Kaplan was said to have set an October 2nd trial date, and a federal prosecutor noted that SBF trial could last about 4 weeks. So in terms of the bigger picture, the news comes shortly after 2 of Bankman-Fried's associate Gary Wang, FTX's former CTO and co-founder Caroline Ellison, the former CEO of Bankman-Fried's trading firm, pleaded guilty to fraud charges and agreed to cooperate with U.S. prosecutors to build a case against SBF. In a plea hearing on December 19th, Ellison admitted that she conspired with others to use billions of dollars of customers' funds from Bankman-Fried's failed trading platform. So, if convicted, SBF, who has been accused of defrauding investors and FTX customers, could face up to 115 years in prison. So, meanwhile, U.S. financial regulators, in their first statement since FTX meltdown, advised banks exposed to the cryptocurrency sector to ensure that their activities were legally permissible. And the Federal Reserve, FDIC, and the Office of Comptroller of the Currency said that in a joint announcement, they believe that issuing/holding cryptos on an open, public, or decentralized network is highly likely to be inconsistent with safe banking practices. The regulators also raised safety and soundness concerns about the business models of crypto-related firms. So, well, they said banking organizations are neither prohibited nor discouraged from providing banking services to customers of any specific class or type of asset. The group is reviewing how banks can engage in crypto activities while ensuring safety, consumer protection, and compliance with laws. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out. That was a huge, huge eruption over the last few weeks, right into the end of the year. And then finally here, one of the last things I want to note before we take a look at what this market is doing. I just opened a platform. I hope it doesn't crap out on me. What the hell's going on? So, last thing, right? The newest country in Europe to adopt the euro, Croatia, right? Croatia marks the 20th country to adopt the euro, making a milestone for the nation of about 4 million people, right? So, very small country. And Croatia, which has sought out closer ties since its EU accession in 2013, will also join border-free Schengen area, a bloc of 26 countries that has enabled a population of 420 million to move freely among members, making it the largest border-free area in the world. So the transition to kuna can still be used until January 15th, which is coming up very soon, though anyone paying in the older currency will receive their change in euros. After the date, bills and coins will be permitted to be exchanged at any Croatian post office until June 30th, and at any Croatian bank until the end of 2023. For those taking longer to part with their cash, kuna coins can be exchanged at the Croatian Central Bank until December 2025 and the banknotes until further notice. So that's going to be pretty interesting. I think Bulgaria is about to adopt it as well in the coming year in 2024. We'll see how that shapes up. I don't think it's necessarily a great thing for these smaller countries, but again, we'll see. In terms of other news here, I just want to take a look at what's going on in these markets. We had a pop here overnight, holding a very, very significant level. Yesterday, we managed to part with the area that I was talking about, 3869. And if you guys paid attention, that area just traded sell side down about 8 handles from that region. So I think we can see what these sellers really have in store, but that is an area that I really want to watch to see if the sellers can really break through. Back into that like 56, 57 region, if they can push through that, the bottom end of the target is going to be the 38, 45, 47, which is another region that I was talking about yesterday. We managed to hold below it very, very well and dumped even below into the new distribution block. The top of the lower distribution block is 38, 36 to 37, right? The fact that we held that multiple times over and tried to get into the bottom range of that distribution block was great for attempted sell side. And then we have a huge level at 38.16, so that's one to watch. I want to see if we can dump off of this 69 into, again, the 45, 47s to see if any bulls try to pick that up. I'm going to be watching the intermediate level 57, but I'm not going to be very, very active around that level. I'd rather see the 45, 47s trade. And then naturally the 36 to 38, 35 to 38 region, I think that could be a decent dip buy if we get down there. Now, buyers would want to see it at 83, 85, and then up at the 98s, 3,900. So that's what I'm watching for. But I'm under the impression that I'm going to be selling some rips today. So that's kind of where I'm headed at and what I'm thinking right now. So with that being said, I hope everyone enjoys the trading day, shorter week. Keep it tight, keep it small, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.